for some people, this is good enough. You're like, I need something just a little. Oh, like this? Nah, I'm thinking a little more. And Cold Steel pops their head out, of course, dressed in a nice tie, and says, I got you, fam. And they whip out the truck nuts of everyday carry knives, the Frenzy. Available in 3 delicious versions. The Frenzy 1, pictured here with a succulent mint handle. The Frenzy 2 with a fabulous blueberry handle. And the Frenzy 3 with the sassy black licorice handle. Now, I don't own those knives, but you can go look them up on the internet and see for yourself. So let's go over the dimensions and see if this samurai sword is right for your everyday carry needs. Like the overall length and the actually surprising weight for its size. The blade length, the cutting edge, the handle size, grip area. I think you could fit 3 hands there. The handle thickness and the spine thickness. The Frenzy has an absolutely massive Wharncliffe blade of about 5.5 inches. And you're like, Blade HQ calls it a modified sheep's foot, bro. And if you remembered the excellent illustration in my Delica Wharncliffe video about 2 weeks ago, you'll go, hey man, that looks more like a Wharncliffe because of its long pointy taper. Well, I don't know what's right anymore, and I really don't care. So the Wharncliffe blade and its overall design of the knife is modeled after the Japanese kabuto wari. Kabuto wari, which in ancient Japan could have been carried by the samurai or in modern times on the train by Kairo Sojiro, provided he has room in the trench coat next to the katana. Anyway, the blade is long and thin and has a big cutting edge for gutting an elk? I don't know, it's sharp and it comes to a point, so pierce and slice, pierce and slice, pierce and slice. The Taiwan-made blade uses a satin finish XHP CTS steel, which I found holds an edge for quite some time. I was pretty impressed with the steel back when I reviewed the Manix 2 from Spyderco, which I think it was like October now. The blade is deployed by thumb studs, and it's actually fairly easy to deploy one-handed if you give it a firm flick, with a little bit of wrist action. I'm not saying it's as easy as my 941, it's just surprising when you take into account how ridiculous the blade is. It's akin to my K2, which after deploying many times is fairly easy now. It's locked into place with the Triad lock, which Cold Steel brags is stronger than any lock ever made, even fixed blades enchanted with unicorn urine. Of course, I'm sure you're familiar with their Do You Even Lock Bro YouTube chopping tests, and if not, time to brush up on the classics. The Triad lock looks like a lockback, and it's stiff and hard. In fact, it's recommended you try and close it with 2 hands instead of releasing it with your thumb and give it a flick downward like it's a Spyderco. Otherwise, you'll cut yourself like this moron. Actually, the Triad lock is the reason I bought the blade. I wanted a Triad lock for my batoning fetish, and the Chug dude was like, review a Cold Steel, and many other people have talked about it in the comments. So this was new, and it looked like the opposite of what I needed, so I bought it. The blade retention when closed is fine, although it's possible to nearly deploy it if you flick it real hard. When closing, the blade snaps back into place with force. The handle. The handle is made from 2 slabs of layered and machined G10. It's almost a micarta feeling type handle because it's tactile. Sorry, I read that wrong. Tactile and grippy. The handle is very large and there's plenty of room to move your hand around and get whatever kind of grip you want. Almost 2 hands. The handle is liner-less, so it has a nice balance to it without being overly blade or overly handle heavy. It's G10 that sandwiches a backspacer and a lock, and that's about it. Carrying. The handle is slim and not much bigger than a standard everyday carry, at least in thickness. I mean, I know that this is a standard everyday carry size for some people, but let me play the devil's advocate for a second and say hypothetically, it's just a little large for most people to pocket carry. Now that's more due to the length of the handle than the thickness. If you have deep pockets or have holes in them, it might of course be fine. The knife is tip-up carry with a stainless steel pocket clip that's reversible to the right or left side. You're like, oh great, tactical deployment. It's not deep carry, so the good thing is your future arresting officer will have no problem spotting it peeking out of your pocket. Okay, let's get to chopping.
Well, first, why don't we save the turtles and recycle? And I guess now is as good a time as any to announce the new channel name and direction. Advanced Recycling, bro. Okay, are they gone? Now's the part where I do some dumb stuff. You mean like, oh, not wearing gloves earlier? Okay, fair point.
Now, for people new to this channel, I won't use an axe because that makes sense. An axe is for people who like doing things the easy way, and I don't want to be accused of being lazy. I will say though, and I'll just level with you right now for once, there's not really enough weight behind the knife for chopping or batoning through pieces of hardwood like this, whatever this is. It was some trash laying in the yard. Camp axes are best, and my kukri works great through those because it's a heavy, heavy blade. This blade is too thin for chopping. But the idea behind this is to see how reliable the triad lock really is. If the guy in a red shirt and tie chopping through meat on Cold Steel's channel isn't evidence enough. So now that I've wasted a minute or two of your time, let's split some wood. And you can see here the knife doesn't do too bad while doing this. Of course, if the wood is small and puny and soft enough, it cuts right through when batoning. The blade is pretty long, so I guess if you think of it as a kitchen knife, but without the elevated, more useful handle, it seems a little less crazy. Make sure you write this down because it'll help your argument later when someone asks. So, as far as this knife goes, I don't see a reason not to buy it. But on the other hand, I do not see a reason to buy it. And if that makes sense to you, subscribe to this channel, give the video a thumbs up, comment, etc. Follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching.